If you're watching this, chances are your golden retriever has been turning your home into a bit of a disaster zone. Maybe it started with a chewed up slipper or a shredded newspaper, and now, well, your couch cushions have disappeared into some furry black hole, and your favorite shoes don't stand a chance. Before you start thinking your dog is trying to drive you insane, take a deep breath. The truth is, your golden retriever isn't being naughty on purpose. They're just being a golden retriever. And that's exactly what makes them so lovable, but also, at times, a little destructive. Golden retrievers are famous for being friendly, loyal, and incredibly affectionate, but they're also highly intelligent, energetic, and curious. These dogs were bred to retrieve and work alongside humans, which means they have a strong desire to be active, to have tasks to do, and to be part of your life. When they don't get enough stimulation, physical or mental, they often find their own ways to entertain themselves. And yes, unfortunately, that can include turning your living room into a chew zone. Now, here's the first big hook. Your dog isn't destroying your house out of malice. They're trying to communicate with you. They might be saying, "Hey, I'm bored," or "I'm stressed," or even, "I need your attention, please." Once you understand the why behind their behavior, everything else becomes much easier. Let's start with one of the most common reasons: boredom. Golden retrievers are active dogs. They love running, fetching, swimming, and basically anything that gets them moving. Imagine being stuck in your house all day with nothing to do. You get restless, right? Now imagine that energy multiplied by 10, plus an insatiable curiosity. That's what your dog is feeling when they're left alone with no stimulation. If your golden has nothing to occupy their mind, they'll find their own entertainment. And unfortunately, your couch, chews, or pillows often become the targets. The key to dealing with boredom is providing both mental and physical stimulation. Going for a walk isn't always enough. A tired dog is a happy dog, yes, but a tired dog can still get into trouble if they're bored mentally. Puzzle toys, treat dispensing balls, or even simple games like hide and seek can keep them occupied.
Some owners even rotate toys daily to keep their dog interested. The idea is to give your golden retriever something that engages their brain, not just their legs. When they're mentally stimulated, the urge to destroy your belongings diminishes dramatically. If your golden retriever is a puppy, chewing might simply be a part of teething. Puppies explore the world through their mouths, and teething can make chewing irresistible. Their gums can hurt, and chewing helps relieve that discomfort. If you've ever watched a puppy gnawing on a teething toy with pure joy, you know exactly what I mean. It's important to redirect this behavior to appropriate chew toys rather than scolding them for chewing furniture or shoes. Giving them a variety of toys with different textures keeps their mouths busy and helps prevent frustration. This phase usually lasts until around 6 months, but patience is key. Puppies are learning every day what's okay to chew and what isn't, and it's up to us to guide them kindly. Another factor that can lead to destructive behavior is separation anxiety. Golden retrievers are extremely social dogs. They bond closely with their humans, often forming attachments that are stronger than other breeds. This is wonderful when you're around, but it can become a problem when you leave. Some Goldens get so anxious about being alone that they engage in destructive behavior simply to cope with the stress. Chewing, digging, and even trying to escape from the house can be signs of this anxiety. Separation anxiety often comes with other warning signs. You might notice your dog pacing around the house, whining, drooling excessively, or repeatedly checking the door when you're about to leave. If this sounds familiar, it's crucial to address the anxiety, not just the chewing. Gradual training, comforting items like a t-shirt with your scent, and creating a safe space for your dog can help reduce anxiety over time. Crate training can also be beneficial if done correctly, because it provides your dog with a secure environment where they feel safe rather than punished.
Sometimes destruction isn't about anxiety or boredom at all. It's about attention seeking. Golden retrievers thrive on interaction. They're social, playful, and affectionate, and they want to be a part of everything you do. If they feel ignored or lonely, they might resort to behavior that gets a reaction, even if it's negative. That chewed up shoe or shredded pillow is your dog saying, "Hey, look at me." The problem is, even scolding them can be seen as attention. That's why it's important to recognize the signs early and meet your dog's need for engagement in positive ways. Daily walks, play sessions, or simply spending time together can fulfill their social needs and reduce destructive tendencies. It's also important to understand that excess energy combined with a lack of guidance can lead to chaos. Golden retrievers are smart dogs, and if they don't know what's expected of them, they'll find their own way to use their intelligence, which sometimes means turning your living room into a disaster zone. Dogs thrive on structure and predictability. When they know the rules and what's expected, they feel secure and are less likely to engage in destructive behavior. Establishing consistent routines, boundaries, and training is essential. Even simple commands like leave it or go to your bed can make a huge difference when paired with regular exercise and mental stimulation. Now, here's a little secret most people don't think about. Sometimes destruction can actually be fun for your dog. Chewing is enjoyable and satisfying for many dogs. It's not always about stress or boredom, it's about the pleasure they get from tearing into something with their jaws. This is why it's important to redirect their chewing to appropriate toys. If you give them something that's just as satisfying to chew on as your couch cushion, they'll naturally gravitate toward the toy instead. Think of it as giving them a healthy outlet for a natural behavior rather than trying to completely stop it. Let's not forget that each dog is unique. Some golden retrievers may be more prone to chewing due to genetics or early experiences, while others may rarely engage in destructive behavior. The key is to observe your dog carefully. Notice the triggers and respond with patience and consistency. Punishment rarely works with golden retrievers.
These dogs are sensitive and responsive to positive reinforcement, not harsh discipline. Rewarding them for good behavior, redirecting them when they're about to choose something inappropriate, and providing outlets for their energy and curiosity will go a long way toward protecting your home. By now, you're probably starting to see a pattern. Destructive behavior in golden retrievers usually stems from one or more of these causes: boredom, teething, anxiety, attention-seeking, or lack of guidance. Understanding the root cause is half the battle. Once you know why your dog is acting out, you can start applying solutions that actually work, instead of just reacting to the damage after the fact. And trust me, with a little effort and a lot of patience, your house can become a safe, happy place again for both you and your golden retriever. But here's something else to remember. While it's important to protect your belongings, it's equally important to nurture your dog. These moments of chewing or tearing things up are opportunities to understand them better and strengthen your bond. Instead of seeing it purely as destruction, try to see it as communication. Your dog is telling you something, and once you learn to listen, you'll find that solutions come naturally. Now that we understand why your golden retriever might be turning your home into a disaster zone, it's time to roll up our sleeves and talk about what you can actually do about it. Because understanding the problem is one thing, but taking action is where the magic happens. And the best part, you don't have to yell, punish, or stress yourself out to make it work. With the right strategies, your Go can learn to respect your home and even enjoy it more than ever. Let's start with the big one: exercise and energy management. Golden retrievers are high-energy dogs. They were literally bred to run, retrieve, and work all day. So if your dog is cooped up inside with no outlet, it's like leaving a toddler in a room full of Legos with no supervision. Trouble is inevitable.
The solution here is simple in theory, though it takes consistency. Make sure your golden gets enough physical activity every single day. This doesn't just mean one short walk in the morning. Think long walks, jogs, playtime at the park, or even a game of fetch in the backyard. Some people underestimate how much exercise Goldens need. For a young, active dog, an hour to 2 hours of exercise every day is ideal. If your schedule is packed, don't worry. You can break it up into multiple sessions. Even a 10-minute intense play session can help burn off some of that restless energy. And here's a tip: use activities that engage both mind and body.
Playing fetch, hiding treats for them to find, or using interactive toys not only tires them out physically, but also challenges their brain. A mentally stimulated dog is much less likely to chew your furniture just to keep themselves entertained. Speaking of the brain, mental stimulation is just as important as physical exercise. A bored mind can be just as destructive as pent-up energy. Puzzle toys, treat dispensing balls, and interactive games are lifesavers here. You can even create simple DIY puzzles at home. Hide treats under cups or use a towel to wrap a few snacks and let your dog figure out how to get them. These kinds of challenges keep your golden retriever busy and happy. And the more they use their brain, the less they'll have the energy or desire to destroy your belongings. Next, let's talk about redirecting chewing behavior. If your golden is chewing on your couch, shoes, or other items, the trick isn't to just stop them. That rarely works. Instead, you want to teach them what is okay to chew on. This is where a variety of chew toys comes in handy. Rotate different textures, shapes, and sizes to keep them interested. Some dogs prefer soft rubber toys, others like rope toys, and some love frozen treats or even safe chew sticks. The key is to make the toys more appealing than your furniture. If your golden associates chewing with fun and rewards, they'll naturally choose the toy over your belongings.
For puppies, this is especially important because they're still learning what's appropriate to chew on. Every time they go for something they shouldn't, calmly redirect them to a toy. Praise them when they chew the right thing. Over time, they'll begin to understand the difference. Remember, patience and consistency are everything here. Puppies don't come pre-programmed to know what's okay. They need guidance, love, and repetition. Now, let's tackle separation anxiety, which can be a big driver of destructive behavior. If your golden chews, digs, or acts out when left alone, chances are anxiety is at play. The key here is gradual desensitization. Start by leaving your dog alone for just a few minutes at a time and slowly increase the duration as they get comfortable. Pair these absences with something positive, like a special treat or a favorite toy that they only get when you leave. This helps your golden learn that being alone isn't scary, it's actually pretty rewarding. Creating a safe space or dog zone can also make a huge difference. Some owners swear by crate training, not as a punishment, but as a sanctuary. A crate can be a cozy, secure place where your dog feels safe, especially if it's filled with their favorite toys or a blanket with your scent. If your dog is older or not a fan of crates, a gated area with their bed, water, and some toys can serve the same purpose. The goal is to give them a space where they feel comfortable and protected, rather than anxious and trapped. Another key strategy is establishing routines and structure. Golden retrievers thrive on predictability. When they know what to expect, they feel safe and secure, which dramatically reduces anxiety and destructive tendencies. Set regular times for feeding, walks, play, and rest. Stick to these routines as closely as possible. This doesn't just help them understand what's expected, it also gives them stability, which can reduce stress-related chewing and other unwanted behaviors. And here's a tip that often gets overlooked. Use positive reinforcement consistently. Golden retrievers respond incredibly well to praise, treats, and affection. When they behave the way you want, make it a big deal.
A cheerful, "good boy," or a small treat when they choose their toy over your couch goes a long way. Over time, they'll start repeating the behaviors that earn rewards. On the flip side, try to avoid yelling or punishing because that can create fear or confusion, which often makes destructive behavior worse. Sometimes dogs chew out of sheer excitement or joy, not anxiety or boredom. They love exploring textures and things with their mouths. In these cases, it's about providing satisfying alternatives. Frozen chew toys, interactive treat puzzles, and even supervised play with your shoes. Yes, some owners do this with old, worn shoes, can channel that natural urge safely. The goal is to satisfy the behavior in a controlled way, so your golden retriever doesn't feel deprived. You can also try enrichment walks, which are a game changer for many dogs. Instead of a simple walk where you just circle the block, let your dog sniff and explore at their own pace. Hide treats along the way, let them investigate interesting smells, and allow them to interact with their environment.
This kind of stimulation works their brain and body simultaneously and can dramatically reduce the urge to chew out of boredom at home. If your golden retriever has developed a habit of chewing specific items, management is key. Don't just leave tempting items lying around and hope they'll resist. Shoes, remote controls, pillows, and anything valuable should be out of reach. Use baby gates, closed doors, or elevated storage to prevent access. This isn't a permanent solution, but it helps reduce damage while you're working on training. Finally, remember that every golden retriever is different. Some dogs respond quickly to these strategies, while others take time and patience. The key is to observe your dog closely, understand their triggers, and be consistent in your response. Destruction doesn't happen overnight, and it won't disappear overnight either. But with a combination of exercise, mental stimulation, structured routines, positive reinforcement, and patience, you can transform your home from chaos to calm, and your golden retriever will be happier and more content than ever.
By now, you know why your golden retriever might be destroying things, and you've got practical strategies to curb those behaviors. But here's the truth. Lasting results don't come from one quick fix. Golden retrievers are smart, energetic, and sometimes a little stubborn. To keep your home intact and your dog happy, you need a long-term plan. That's what we're diving into today. Advanced strategies, daily routines, and tips that help prevent destructive behavior before it starts. Let's start with creating a daily routine that works for both you and your dog. Structure is everything for golden retrievers. These dogs thrive on predictability, and when their day has clear boundaries for play, rest, exercise, and meals, they feel secure. Start with a consistent wake-up time, breakfast, a morning walk or play session, and some mental stimulation before you head to work. This isn't just about keeping them busy, it's about setting the tone for the day. A tired, fulfilled golden retriever is a calm, well-behaved dog. One of the most effective tools in long-term behavior management is scheduled mental exercises. Mental stimulation is just as important as physical exercise, especially for smart breeds like Goldens. You can use treat puzzles, training sessions, or even short find-it games around the house. For example, hide small treats under cups or in corners and let your dog sniff them out. These activities tire their brain as much as running tires their body, and a mentally exhausted Golden is much less likely to chew on your furniture. Try to incorporate at least one mental challenge into your dog's day, even if it's just 10 minutes. Consistency matters more than duration. Another advanced strategy is teaching impulse control. Impulse control is the ability for your dog to resist temptation, and it's essential for preventing destructive behavior. Training exercises like leave it, wait, and stay can make a huge difference. Start slow, reward successes, and gradually increase difficulty. For instance, place a toy or treat on the floor and ask your dog to leave it. When they do, reward them. Over time, they'll learn to think before acting, which can save your shoes, furniture, and sanity.
Let's talk about crates and safe zones, but in a more strategic way. A crate isn't just a place to confine your dog, it's a sanctuary. Make it cozy with a soft bed, toys, and even a piece of your clothing. This gives your golden retriever a safe space to retreat when they feel stressed or overstimulated. If crate train feels restrictive, consider a gated area instead. The key is consistency. Whenever your dog is unsupervised, they should be in a safe zone with access to toys and comfort items. This prevents accidents and chewing while reinforcing positive habits. Socialization and interaction also play a major role in long-term success. Golden retrievers are social creatures. They love people, other dogs, and new environments. Lack of social interaction can lead to boredom and stress, which often manifests as destructive behavior. Take your dog to dog-friendly parks, arrange play dates with other dogs, or even visit pet-friendly stores. New experiences stimulate their mind and provide healthy outlets for energy. A well-socialized dog is usually calmer and more adaptable at home. Now, let's get into environment management, a subtle but crucial step. Golden retrievers are naturally curious, and if tempting items are within reach, they'll investigate. The solution isn't just telling them no, it's about designing your space to minimize temptation. Keep shoes, clothes, and electronics out of reach.
Use baby gates to limit access to certain rooms. Even simple changes like storing laundry in a closed basket or keeping remotes on a high shelf can drastically reduce opportunities for mischief. Think of it as setting your dog up for success rather than catching them in failure. Another advanced tip is rotating toys and enrichment activities. Dogs can get bored with the same toys, just like humans get bored with the same routines. Rotate chew toys, puzzle toys, and interactive games weekly to keep things fresh. This encourages your dog to engage with their own toys instead of your belongings. You can even create a toy rotation schedule that your dog starts to recognize. Over time, they'll get excited about the rotation, which keeps their mind active and their energy focused in a positive direction.
Consistency is the real secret sauce. Golden retrievers are highly intelligent, but also sensitive to inconsistent signals. If sometimes chewing is allowed and sometimes it's punished, your dog will get confused and anxiety may increase. Stick to the rules you set, reward positive behaviors every time, and make sure every member of the household follows the same plan. Mixed signals are a fast track to frustration for both you and your dog. Training with rewards is another key component. Golden retrievers respond far better to positive reinforcement than punishment. A small treat, verbal praise, or a belly rub works wonders. Make sure to reward immediately when they do something right. Over time, this strengthens good behavior patterns and reduces unwanted ones. Even something as simple as offering praise when your dog chooses a toy over your couch helps them connect the behavior to positive outcomes. For dogs struggling with persistent anxiety or attention-seeking behavior, consider gradual desensitization. Practice leaving them alone for very short periods, then gradually extend the time. Pair each absence with something positive, like a favorite treat or interactive toy. Over time, your dog learns that being alone isn't scary, it's manageable and even enjoyable. A helpful long-term strategy is to keep a behavior journal. Note when destructive incidents happened, what time of day, what your dog was doing before, and any other patterns you notice. Over a few weeks, you may spot triggers you didn't notice before, like certain times when your dog is extra bored or stressed. Once you identify these patterns, you can adjust your routines to prevent destructive behavior before it happens. And finally, don't forget bonding time. Golden retrievers are social, loving dogs that crave interaction. Spending quality time with your dog strengthens your relationship, reduces anxiety, and makes them more responsive to training.
This can be as simple as a game of fetch, a walk around the block, or even just sitting on the floor giving belly rubs. A dog that feels connected and fulfilled is far less likely to act out destructively. So, to summarize the long-term approach, provide structured routines, daily physical and mental exercise, safe zones, consistent training with rewards, and plenty of social interaction. Rotate toys and enrichment activities. Manage your environment to minimize temptation and observe your dog's behavior to identify triggers. Combine all these strategies, and you're not just stopping destructive behavior, you're creating a happy, healthy golden retriever who thrives in your home rather than testing your patience. And remember, there is no overnight fix. Golden retrievers are smart, but also creatures of habit. Change takes time, consistency, and patience. Celebrate small victories along the way. Each day your dog chooses their toy over your shoes, each time they settle calmly in their crate is progress. Over time, the destructive behaviors will decrease and your home will feel like home again, peaceful, happy, and full of wagging tails. At the end of the day, preventing destruction isn't about control or punishment, it's about understanding, guidance, and love. By following these strategies, you can turn your golden retriever from a mischievous chaos maker into a well-behaved, happy companion who enriches your life rather than testing your patience. And the best part? You'll both enjoy a stronger bond, a calmer home, and a dog who thrives mentally, physically, and emotionally. So go ahead, implement these strategies, stick with them, and watch the transformation. Your golden retriever isn't naughty. They're brilliant, loving, and full of energy. With guidance and structure, that energy becomes a force for fun, learning, and companionship
rather than destruction. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps support the channel. And if you want even more tips on raising a happy, well-behaved golden retriever or any dog, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Also, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me which tip you're going to try first, or share your own experience with a mischievous golden retriever. Your story might just help another dog owner out there.